This is the last night. I don't mean that the way it sounds. I mean it's the last night of everything I've known. The last night of pretending this is just training. Tomorrow we jump into France. They told us this afternoon. We sat in a crowded tent, wooden benches, the air thick with cigarette smoke. Maps covered the walls. Normandy, the coast of France. Our target. A colonel talked about beaches and drop zones and causeways. He used words like Utah and Omaha. He told us where the Germans were, what they had, how many. He told us what we had to do. I stopped listening. Too many names, too many things that could go wrong. I looked at the men around me instead. Leo Kozlowski, our sergeant, chewing an unlit cigar. Doc Henderson, the medic, writing in a small notebook. Lieutenant Bradley, up front, taking notes like a schoolboy. And the others, farm boys and factory workers and students. Some played cards last night, laughing too loud, trying not to think. Some wrote letters, page after page. Some just stared at nothing. I wrote to Mary. 3 pages. I told her about England, about the little pub near the airfield. I told her about the weather, which has been beautiful. I told her I loved her. I told her I'd come home. I didn't tell her the truth. I didn't tell her that my hands shake when I think about tomorrow. I didn't tell her that I've never killed anyone, that I don't know if I can. I didn't tell her that sometimes, in the dark, I can't remember her face. Her photograph is here, tucked into this notebook. Mary Sullivan, 19, standing in front of the barn back home, squinting into the sun. She's wearing a blue dress, her best one. Her hair is light brown. Her eyes are the color of the Iowa sky in August. I gave her a ring before I left. Not an engagement ring, too young, my mother said, too poor, but a promise ring. Silver with a chip of emerald, her birthstone. She wears it on a chain around her neck, next to her heart. Her last letter came 3 days ago. She wrote about the corn coming up good, about my father worried about cattle prices, about a dance at the Grange Hall which she didn't go to. She wrote, "I'm saving all my dances for you, Jim Gallagher, so you'd better come home quick." I read that line 10 times. Then I folded the letter and put it with the photograph, next to my heart. I wonder if she knows. The news will come eventually. If I die, they'll send a telegram to my mother. She'll open it at the kitchen door, afternoon sun through the window, chickens in the yard. She'll read the words and she'll fall. I can't think about that. I have to think about tomorrow. 9 p.m. General Eisenhower came to see us. The Supreme Commander walked through our camp, shaking hands, talking to the men. He's shorter than I expected. Older. Tired, you can see it in his eyes, the weight of all of us. When he got to me, he stopped. "Where you from, son?" "Iowa, sir." "Des Moines." "Farm boy." "Yes, sir." He smiled. "I grew up in Kansas. Not so different. You'll see some different country tomorrow. But remember what you're fighting for. It's not just maps. It's places like that. Fields and farms and people who want to live in peace." I just nodded. He shook my hand and moved on. But I'll remember that. The most powerful man in the war took time to talk to a farm boy from Iowa. I wonder if he sleeps tonight. I wonder if anyone sleeps tonight. 11 p.m. The chaplain came by. He said a prayer in the middle of the tent, his helmet off, his bald head shining. He prayed for courage, for strength, for safe return. He prayed for the ones who won't come back. Some men crossed themselves. Some bowed their heads. Some just stared at the ground. I said the prayer my mother taught me. "Now I lay me down to sleep. I pray the Lord my soul to keep. If I should die before I wake, I pray the Lord my soul to take." Felt strange. Like being small again, small and safe. Tucked into bed while my mother kissed my forehead. I haven't felt small and safe in a long time. 1 a.m., June 6th. They're loading the planes soon. I can hear them outside, the C-47s, idling on the runway. Hundreds of them. The sky will be black with them tonight. We've checked our equipment a dozen times. Parachute, reserve, rifle, ammunition, grenades, knife, water, rations, the little cricket clicker for identification in the dark. 1 click means American. 2 clicks means German. I have my mother's Bible in my left breast pocket, over my heart. I have Mary's photograph in my right breast pocket. I have a pack of Lucky Strikes in my helmet. Doc says they're better than money in France. Leo Kozlowski is sitting across from me, cleaning his rifle. He looks up. Scared, kid? I nod. Good. Means you're not stupid. The ones who aren't scared are the ones who die first. Stay scared. Stay alive. What about you? He looks at his rifle. I've done this before. North Africa. Sicily. You think it gets easier. It doesn't. But you learn to use it. The fear. You let it sharpen you instead of paralyze you. I want to ask him what it's like the first time you kill a man. I want to ask him if they come to him at night. I don't. Some things you have to learn for yourself. 2 a.m. The order came. We're moving out. I have to go now. I have to put this notebook away, strap on my parachute, climb into that plane, and jump into the dark. If I die, someone will find this. A German, maybe, or one of our own. Whoever you are, I want you to know. I was scared. I was 20 years old. I came from Iowa, from a farm, from a family that loved me. I had a girl named Mary who was saving all her dances for me. And I jumped. I jumped into the dark, into the flak, into the unknown because that was my job. I hope it was worth it. I hope we win. I hope Mary finds someone else to dance with if I don't come back. But I'm not dead yet. The engines are louder now. The men are standing, checking each other's gear, shaking hands, saying things that sound like goodbyes. Leo just slapped my shoulder. Stay low, move fast, don't die. That's the whole plan. That's the whole plan. I'm going now. I'm gonna climb into that plane and sit in the dark and wait for the green light. And then I'm going to jump. God help me. God help us all. June 6, 1944, 3:30 a.m. Over the English Channel. The engines are so loud I can't hear myself think. The whole plane shakes, rattling us in our seats like we're in a giant's hand. 20 of us packed together, knees almost touching, rifles between our legs. No room to move, no room to breathe. Just sit and wait and try not to think. We've been in the air an hour of darkness, of vibration, of the steady drone of engines, an hour of watching the red light above the door, willing it to stay red, dreading the moment it turns green, an hour of sitting with my own thoughts, which are not good company tonight. Takeoff was chaos. Our plane, whispering Gertie, lurched down the runway, loaded down with all of us, all our gear. Through the small windows, I saw the other C-47s, hundreds of them, lined up like toys. Then we were airborne, climbing into the night, joining the vast armada headed for France. Leo sits across from me. His eyes are closed, but his lips move. I think he's praying. That surprises me. Leo doesn't seem the praying type. But maybe everyone prays tonight. Doc Henderson is next to me, checking his medical kit for the 10th time. His hands are steady. Mine are clasped between my knees so no one will see them shake. Lieutenant Bradley is up front, near the cockpit. He's been there most of the flight, probably trying to get information. He's young, younger than me maybe, but he's our officer and he takes that seriously. Too seriously, Leo says. West Point boys think war is a math problem. Get the numbers right and everyone goes home. He shook his head. It's not math. It's luck. It's chaos. I'm trying not to think about luck. 13,000 of us jumping tonight. 13,000 men. 13,000 chances to die. The Germans know we're coming. Their flak guns are waiting. Their machine guns are waiting. Their young men, scared as we are waiting in the dark. I wonder what they're thinking, those German boys. I wonder if they have girls back home. Photographs in their helmets. Letters in their pockets. I wonder if they pray to the same God, asking for the same thing, to live through the night. Leo says not to think about that. They're the enemy. They'd kill you without blinking. You kill them first. That's the whole job. He's right, but I can't help wondering. 4 a.m. We're over France now. The flak has started. It began as distant thunder. Now it's closer, louder, more intense. Through the window, the sky lights up with explosions, orange and red and white. Tracer fire arcs upward, streams of red and green, reaching for us. The plane lurches, banks hard, straightens out. The pilot takes evasive action. Around me, men grip their rifles, their seats, each other. No one speaks. A shell bursts close. The whole plane shudders. Metal clangs against the fuselage. For a moment, I'm certain we're going down. I'm certain this is it, the end. I'll never see Mary again. But the engines keep roaring. The plane keeps flying. Leo catches my eye. He grins. Fun, ain't it? I laugh. I actually laugh. Because what else can you do? 4:30 a.m. The red light is still on. The crew chief moves among us, checking static lines. We stand one by one, struggling under 100 pounds of gear. Parachute, reserve, rifle, ammunition, grenades, rations, water, knife, first aid kit, and a dozen other things. I can barely move, but I stand. I hook my static line to the cable overhead. The crew chief opens the door. The sound hits like a wall. The roar of engines, the crack of flak, the rush of wind. Through the open door, I see the night, the tracers, the explosions. Other planes, some burning, some falling. Parachutes already in the air. Men drifting down into the dark. Stand up. Hook up. We repeat the ritual. Stand up. Hook up. Check your equipment. Hands move, checking the man in front, the man behind. I feel hands on my harness, tugging. I do the same to the man in front of me. A kid I don't know, his face pale, his eyes wide. His equipment is secure. I pat his shoulder. He nods, not looking at me. Sound off for equipment check. 16 okay. 15 okay. The voices go down the line. I'm number 8. 8 okay. All okay. All ready. All scared to death. The plane lurches again. Through the door, I see a plane ahead of us hit by flak. Burning. Spiraling down. Men jump from it, tumbling into the night, their parachutes opening too late. I look away. I look at Leo. He's watching too. Don't look, he shouts. Look at me. Look at the door. Look at the light. I look at the light. It's still red. 4:45 a.m. The green light. It happens so fast. One moment the light is red. The next, it's green. And the crew chief is screaming, "Go! Go! Go!" And the men are moving, shuffling toward the door, disappearing into the night. I'm pushed forward. I can't stop. The door is right there. The man in front of me jumps. I see him go. Then it's my turn. I'm at the door. The wind tears at me. Below is darkness and fire and death. For one endless second, I freeze. I can't do it. I can't jump. Then Leo's hand is on my back, shoving. Go, kid. Go. And I go. I jump into the night. The sensation is nothing like training. The plane is gone. I'm falling. I count 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000. Wait for the opening shock. 4,000, 5,000. Nothing. I'm still falling. The ground is coming up. I reach for the ripcord. Did I hook up wrong? Is my chute failed? I'm going to die. Then the opening shock. A violent jerk. So hard I think my spine will break. The parachute opens above me. A beautiful white canopy. I'm swinging, floating, alive. I look up. I look down. I look around. And I see that everything has gone wrong. 5 a.m. The sky is full of chaos. Planes burn and fall. Parachutes are everywhere, some open, some streaming, some on fire. Men drift down, some too fast, some too slow. One man, not far from me, his parachute tangled, falls like a stone. I hear his scream cut short. I can't help him. I can only drift, watching the ground come up. Below me is water, a flooded field, shining in the light of the fires. Trees at the edges, a farmhouse, a road, tracers from the ground, reaching up. I pull on the risers, trying to steer, but the parachute doesn't respond. I'm coming down too fast. The water is right there. I hit. The water closes over me, cold and dark. I'm under, tangled in the parachute, weighed down by 100 pounds of gear. I can't breathe. I can't move. I'm drowning. I struggle. I fight. I tear at the harness. My lungs burn. My mind screams. My hand finds the buckle. I twist, I pull. It releases. The harness falls away. I kick, I push, I fight toward the surface. I break through, gasping, choking, sucking air. I'm alive. I crawl through shallow water, through mud, through reeds until I reach dry ground. I lie there, face down, breathing, shaking, weeping with relief. I don't know how long I lie there. Minutes, hours. Time has stopped. When I finally lift my head, I see that I'm alone. Just me in a flooded field, in the dark in France. The crickets chirp. The night is quiet now, the flak faded, the plane's gone. I reach for my cricket clicker. Click it once. In the darkness, somewhere far away, I hear an answer. One click. I'm not alone. Somewhere in Normandy. I don't know where I am. That's the truth of it. The whole plan, the maps, the briefings, the careful coordinates, all gone. I landed in a flooded field. Alone. My equipment scattered. My rifle gone. Somewhere in Normandy, but where? A mile from the drop zone? 10 miles? I have no idea. The sky is starting to lighten. Dawn comes slowly, gray and cold. Mist rises from the water. In the distance, I hear gunfire, scattered, sporadic. Small arms. Not a battle, not yet. Just pockets of fighting. Men like me, lost and scared, bumping into Germans in the dark. I found my rifle. It was lying in the mud 20 yards from where I crawled out. I almost wept with relief. An M1 without a rifle is just a man with a lot of heavy gear and no way to fight. I cleaned it as best I could, wiped the mud from the action, checked the chamber. It'll work. It has to work. My leg hurts. I didn't notice it at first, too busy not drowning. But now I feel it. A deep ache in my left calf. I rolled up my pant leg and found a gash, 6 inches long. Not deep but bleeding. Must have happened on the way down or in the water or crawling through whatever I crawled through. I don't remember. I don't remember much except the cold and the dark and the fight to breathe. Doc Henderson would know what to do. But Doc is somewhere else if he's alive at all. I tore a strip from my undershirt and wrapped it around the cut. Tight as I could. It'll hold. It has to hold. I've been moving west, I think. The sun is rising behind me, so I'm walking away from it, toward where the fighting seems to be. That's the plan, anyway. Find the sound of guns. Find other Americans. Find the fight. The country here is strange. Small fields divided by thick hedgerows. Mounds of earth topped with bushes and trees. Some are old, centuries old, the farmer told me once in a briefing. They use them as fences, as boundaries, as shelter from the wind. Now they're shelter for Germans. For machine guns. For death. I move carefully, slowly, stopping at every hedge to listen. The cricket clicker is in my hand, cold metal, my only way to tell friend from foe. 1 click, friend. 2 clicks, enemy. Click once and wait. If they click back once, you've found a brother. If they don't click, or if they click twice, you shoot. I haven't used it yet. I haven't heard anyone. But I hear other things. Cows lowing in a field. Birds singing like it's any other morning. A rooster somewhere crowing for dawn. Normal sounds. Peaceful sounds. Sounds that make no sense in a world where men are trying to kill each other. And then not peaceful. A burst of machine gun fire, close, too close. A scream. Then silence. I drop to the ground, press myself into the base of the hedge. Wait, listen. My heart pounds so loud I'm sure anyone within a mile can hear it. More silence. Then voices. German. Shouting. I don't understand the words, but I understand the tone. Excited. Alert. They've found someone. I crawl deeper into the hedge, into the thorns and the wet leaves, and I wait. I found a body. He's lying in the next field, half hidden in the tall grass. American. I can see the uniform, the helmet, the parachute harness still on. He's young, maybe younger than me. His eyes are open, staring at nothing. There's blood on his chest, a lot of it. I crawl to him, I don't know why. To see if he's alive? He's not. To see if he has anything I need? Maybe. To prove to myself that I'm not the only one? I don't know. His rifle is gone. His ammunition is gone. But in his pocket I find a photograph. A girl, pretty, smiling. On the back, in careful handwriting, "Wait for me. I'll come back." I put the photograph in my pocket, next to Mary's. I don't know his name. I'll never know. But someone will wait for him, and he won't come back. And I'll carry his photograph with me. Another ghost, another face in the dark. I say a prayer for him. The one my mother taught me. Then I move on. I found them. A group, 8 of them, huddled in a ditch at the edge of a field. Americans. Paratroopers. I almost cried when I saw the uniforms, the helmets, the familiar shape of M1 rifles. I clicked my cricket. Once. They clicked back. Once. I crawled toward them. Hands up, whispering, "American, American. Don't shoot." A face appeared over the edge of the ditch. Grinning. "Well, look what the cat dragged in. Get down here, kid, before someone sees you." I slid into the ditch, into the mud, into the smell of sweat and fear and cigarette smoke. 8 faces looked at me. Tired faces. Scared faces. Alive faces. A sergeant grabbed my shoulder. "You hit. Leg. It's nothing." He looked at the makeshift bandage, nodded. "Doc'll look at it later. Welcome to the club. We're all lost here." I learned their names fast because in this world you learn names fast or you don't learn them at all. Sergeant Talbert, from Ohio, tough as nails, missing half his teeth. Corporal Reeves, a farmer from Kansas, quiet, watchful. Private First Class DeMarco, from New York, loud, always talking, always joking, even now. And 5 others, their names already blurring together. They'd been on the ground for 2 hours. They'd found each other one by one, clicking in the dark, crawling through hedgerows, hiding from German patrols. They'd lost 3 men already, killed in the drop or shot by Germans. 3 men gone before the sun even rose. "We need to find the lieutenant," Talbert said. "Bradley. You know him?" "I know him. He was on my plane. He jumped before me. Then he's out there somewhere. We find him, we find the rest of the company. We find the company, we find the mission. The mission. The causeways. The exits from Utah Beach. Somewhere out there. Men were landing on the beach, wading through water, dying in the sand. And we were supposed to be helping them. We need to move," I said. Talbert grinned again. "Kids got fire. I like that. Yeah, we need to move. But first, we need to know where we are." He pulled out a map, torn and wet, and spread it on the ground. "Anyone got any idea?" We all looked. The map showed roads and rivers and towns. But which road? Which river? Which town? Nothing looked familiar. Nothing matched what we'd seen. DeMarco pointed. "There. See that church steeple? Through the trees to the east. I saw it before the sun came up." We all looked. A steeple, yes, gray stone, rising above the trees. Talbert traced on the map. "There's a church here. St. Mere Église. If that's it, we're about 2 miles southeast." "That's good. That's where we're supposed to be." Relief. Small but real. We knew where we were. We knew where to go. "Let's move," Talbert said. Single file. DeMarco on point. "Reeves, bring up the rear. Gallagher, you're in the middle. Keep your mouth shut and your eyes open. Anyone sees anything, hand signal, no talking." We move fast, we move quiet, we find the lieutenant. We climbed out of the ditch and moved into the hedge. We found the lieutenant. He was dead. He was lying in a sunken lane, his body half in the ditch, his eyes open, his face peaceful. No blood that I could see. Maybe the drop killed him. Maybe his neck broke on landing. Maybe he just fell wrong and that was it. I stood there, looking at him. Lieutenant Bradley. West Point. Eager. Earnest. Taking notes in the briefing. Wanting to prove himself. Wanting to lead. Now he was just a body in a ditch in France. Talbert knelt beside him, closed his eyes, took his dog tags. "We'll come back for him. When we can. Right now, we keep moving." I wanted to say something. Prayer, a word, something. But nothing came. What do you say to a dead man you barely knew? I reached into my pocket and touched the photograph of the unknown soldier's girl. Then I touched Mary's photograph. 2 girls, waiting. 2 men, 1 dead, 1 still walking. We left him there. We had to. We found the Germans. A machine gun nest, set into the hedgerow, covering a crossroads. For men, maybe 5. They hadn't seen us yet. They were looking the other way, toward the sound of firing in the distance. Talbert signaled us to stop. We crouched in the hedge, watching, waiting. "We need that crossroads," he whispered. "It's the way to the causeway. We take it, we hold it until the guys from the beach show up." "4 of them," DeMarco whispered. 8 of us. Good odds. Odds don't matter. Machine guns do. We need to get close, take them out fast, before they can fire. He looked at me. "Gallagher, you ever killed a man?" I shook my head. "Today's your lucky day. You're with me." We go left, along the hedge. DeMarco, take 2 men, go right. Reeves, you and the others stay here. Give us cover. When we're in position, we go on 3. 3 shots, then everyone fires. Got it. We nodded. My mouth was dry. My hands shook. Let's go. We crawled through the hedge, through the thorns, through the mud. The Germans were 20 yards away. 15. 10. I could see their faces now. Young. Tired. Scared. One of them turned. Our eyes met. He reached for his rifle. Talbert fired. Once. The German fell. Then everyone was firing. The noise was incredible. I raised my rifle, aimed at a shape, pulled the trigger. The shape fell. I aimed at another, pulled again. Another fell. Then silence. The Germans were all down. 4 of them. Dead. I stood there, breathing hard, my rifle smoking. Talbert grabbed my shoulder. "Good job, kid. You're a killer now." I looked at the bodies. Young men. Tired. Scared. Like me. One of them had a photograph in his hand, fallen from his pocket. A woman. Dark hair. Smiling. I picked it up, looked at it, put it in my pocket next to the others. I don't know why. I just couldn't leave it there. "Move out," Talbert said. "Crossroads is ours. Let's hold it." We moved. June 6, 1944. Crossroads near Saint-Mere-Église. We hold the crossroads. I don't know how. I don't know why the Germans haven't come in force and pushed us out. But for now, this small piece of France is ours. A dirt road running north-south, another east-west. Hedgerows on all 4 corners. A stone farmhouse 50 yards back. And somewhere beyond that road, beyond those hedges, men are landing on Utah Beach. Our job is to keep this road open for them. There are 7 of us now. DeMarco is gone. He took a bullet in the throat during the firefight, bled out before Doc could reach him. He was still joking, still talking, right up until the end. "Hey, Sarge," he said. "Tell my mama I died laughing." Then he was gone. We buried him in a shallow grave behind the farmhouse. No time for a proper service. No chaplain. Talbert said a few words, something about brave men and good soldiers, and we covered him with dirt. I kept his dog tags. I don't know why. Someone should know where he is. Reeves is hit too. In the arm, not bad, but he can't fire a rifle anymore. Doc patched him up and put him in the farmhouse, watching the rear approach. He's got a pistol and a grenade. If Germans come from behind, he's supposed to warn us, then fight as long as he can. The rest of us are spread along the hedgerows, facing the directions the Germans will come from. Talbert has the machine gun we took from the German nest. It's a beaut, an MG-42. Fires so fast it sounds like canvas tearing. We have 2 belts of ammunition for it. Not enough. Never enough. I'm at the south hedgerow, lying in the dirt, my rifle pointing down the road. The sun is high now, hot. Sweat runs into my eyes. Flies buzz around something dead in the field behind me. I try not to think about what. They came. A patrol first, 8 men walking right down the road like they owned it. They didn't see us. Didn't expect anyone to be here. Talbert let them get close, 50 yards, then opened up with the machine gun. The sound was incredible. That tearing canvas sound, ripping through the afternoon. The Germans fell, most of them, right there in the road. 2 ran for the ditch. Corporal Reeves picked them off from the farmhouse with his pistol. I don't know how. 20 yards with a pistol, and he hit both. Maybe luck. Maybe something else. Then silence again. The bodies lay in the road, dark shapes in the dust. No one moved to check them. No one wanted to. Talbert came down the line, checking each of us. "That was just a patrol," he said. "They'll send more. Next time it won't be 8 men. Next time it'll be a platoon. Maybe a company." "When do we pull back?" someone asked. "We don't. We hold this road until the guys from the beach show up, or until we're dead. Those are the only options." I looked at my rifle, looked at the bodies in the road, looked at the photograph in my pocket, Mary's face, smiling, not knowing any of this. I wondered if I'd ever see her again. I wondered if I'd ever see anything again except this road, these hedges, these dead men. They came again. A platoon this time, maybe 40 men, spread out in the fields, moving from hedge to hedge. They'd learned from the first patrol. No more walking down the road like tourists. Now they were soldiers, professionals, using cover, bounding forward in pairs. Talbert waited until they were 100 yards out. Then he opened up. The machine gun tore into them. Men fell, screamed, crawled for cover. The rest kept coming, firing as they moved. Bullets snapped through the hedge around me, tearing leaves, kicking up dirt. I kept my head down, fired when I saw a target, fired again. Someone to my left screamed. I looked. Private Watson, a kid from Kentucky, maybe 19, was clutching his face, blood pouring through his fingers. He'd been hit in the jaw. He was trying to say something, but his mouth wouldn't work. Doc crawled to him, dragged him behind the hedge, started working. I don't know if he made it. Couldn't look. More firing. More screaming. The Germans were closer now, 50 yards, pushing hard. Talbert's machine gun ran out of ammunition. He cursed, dropped it, picked up his rifle. "They're coming through," someone shouted. "They're coming through." I looked up. Germans were in the field, 20 yards away, running toward us. I fired, worked the bolt, fired again. One fell. Another kept coming. I fired again. He fell. Then they were there, at the hedge, bayonets fixed, faces twisted with fear and fury. I didn't think. I just moved. My rifle was empty. I reversed it, used the butt like a club, swung at the first face I saw. The man went down. Another came at me, his bayonet aimed at my chest. I dodged, grabbed his rifle, wrestled for it. We fell into the hedge, into the thorns, into the dirt. He was strong, stronger than me, his hands around my throat. Couldn't breathe. Couldn't move. I was going to die. Then his hands loosened. His eyes went wide. He fell forward on top of me, and I saw the knife in his back. Talbert stood over us, breathing hard, his face streaked with blood. "You owe me one, kid," he said, and pulled me to my feet. The fighting was over. The Germans who could run had run. The ones who couldn't were dead or dying. The field was full of bodies, gray and green, lying in the sun. I stood there, covered in blood that wasn't mine, shaking, unable to speak. Talbert grabbed my shoulder. "They'll be back. We need to reorganize." We had 4 men left. Watson was dead. Doc couldn't save him. 2 others were dead. Reeves was still in the farmhouse, still alive, still watching the rear. 4 of us against whatever came next. I looked at the bodies. So many bodies. I thought about the photograph in my pocket, the German boy's girl, the one with dark hair. I wondered if she knew yet. I wondered if she'd ever know. They haven't come again. Not yet. We've used the time to gather ammunition from the dead. Rifles, grenades, a few pistols. Talbert found another belt for the machine gun. It's not much, but it's something. The sun is lower now. Long shadows across the field. The bodies are starting to smell. Flies everywhere. I try not to look, but there's nowhere else to look. Doc is sitting next to me, smoking a cigarette. His hands are still steady. I don't know how. "How many?" I ask him. He knows what I mean. "Today? I've lost count. More than I want to remember. You ever get used to it? He takes a long drag on his cigarette. No. You just get better at putting it aside. You focus on the next thing, the next patient, the next breath. You don't think about the ones you couldn't save. You can't. If you start thinking, you stop being able to help the ones who are still alive. I look at my hands. They're still shaking. You did good today, Doc says. You fought. You survived. That's enough. Is it? He doesn't answer. He just hands me a cigarette. I don't smoke, but I take it anyway. I light it, cough, try again. The smoke burns, but it's something to do, something to focus on besides the bodies. In the distance, we hear firing. Heavy firing. Artillery. Machine guns. The beach. The guys from the beach are fighting. Dying. Trying to get to us. Hang on. I whisper. Hang on. We're here. We're holding the road. I don't know if they can hear me. I don't know if they'll ever make it. But I keep whispering. Keep hoping. Keep holding my rifle and watching the road. They came again at dusk. A full company this time. 100 men. Maybe more. We fought. God, we fought. The machine gun tore through them. Rifles cracked. Grenades exploded. Men screamed and died on both sides. I don't remember most of it. Just fragments. Faces in the gloom. The crack of my rifle. The kick against my shoulder. Reloading, firing, reloading, firing. Over and over, until my hands were raw and my ears were ringing, and I couldn't hear anything except the endless noise of death. Then, through the smoke, through the chaos, a new sound. Engines. Tanks. Trucks. Coming from the north. From the beach. American engines. I looked up. Through the haze, I saw them. Sherman tanks moving down the road, their guns firing, their tracks grinding over everything in their path. Behind them, infantry, hundreds of men, spreading out, sweeping through the German positions. The Germans broke, ran, surrendered, died. It was over. I stood there, in the middle of the road, surrounded by bodies, covered in blood and dirt and the smell of death. A tank rolled past me, the driver waving, grinning. Infantrymen slapped my back, said things I couldn't hear, offered cigarettes I couldn't take. The beach guys had made it. Utah Beach was secure. The road was open. We'd done our job. I looked for Talbert, found him sitting against the farmhouse wall, smoking a cigarette, staring at nothing. He was alive. Doc was alive, working on wounded men, his hands still steady. Reeves was alive, leaning out the farmhouse window, a grin on his face. 4 of us, out of 20, 4 alive. I sat down next to Talbert. He handed me a cigarette. I took it. Good job, kid, he said. You're a soldier now. I didn't feel like a soldier. I felt like a ghost, like something that should be dead, but kept walking anyway. I reached into my pocket, touched Mary's photograph, touched the German boy's girl, touched the unknown soldier's girl, the one who was still waiting. 3 women, 3 men, 1 alive. I closed my eyes and listened to the tanks roll past. June 7th. Morning, Normandy. I woke up this morning and didn't know where I was. For a moment, just a moment, I was home. In my bed. In Iowa. The sun coming through the window. The sound of my father moving around in the kitchen. The smell of coffee. Then I opened my eyes and saw the sky, gray and cold, and heard the distant rumble of guns, and remembered. I'm in France. The war is real. And I'm still alive. The crossroads is different today. Quiet. The bodies are gone. Someone came in the night and took them away. The blood is still there, dark stains in the dirt, but the men themselves are gone. Buried somewhere, probably in temporary graves, waiting for someone to come and put their names on something permanent. The tanks are gone too. They rolled on toward whatever comes next. Toward Cherbourg, maybe, or toward more fighting, more dying. The infantry is gone with them. We're alone again, the 4 of us, waiting for orders, waiting for someone to tell us what to do next. Talbert is asleep against the farmhouse wall. His face is slack, peaceful almost. He looks older than he did yesterday. We all do. Doc is awake, sitting on a crate, writing in a small notebook. His medical log, he calls it. A record of every man he treated, every man he lost. He showed it to me once. Page after page of names, dates, injuries. A catalog of pain. Reeves is on watch, his bad arm in a sling, his good hand holding a rifle. He's staring down the road, watching for anything, everything, nothing. He doesn't talk much. He never did. But since yesterday, he doesn't talk at all. I'm sitting here, writing this, trying to make sense of what happened. Trying to remember the names of the men who died. Trying not to forget. There was DeMarco from New York, who joked until the moment he died. Watson from Kentucky, who lost his jaw and then his life. Henderson? No, Henderson is document. The others, their faces are there in my memory, but their names are already slipping away. 16 men, dead in one day. 16 men I'll never know. And the Germans. How many? 20? 30? More? I killed some of them. I know that. I remember their faces, their eyes, the way they fell. I remember the one I clubbed with my rifle, but the one Talbert stabbed, the ones I shot without thinking. I have their photographs now. 3 of them. 3 women, waiting somewhere in Germany, not knowing that the men they love are dead in a French field. I keep them in my pocket, next to Mary's photograph. I don't know why. Maybe because someone should remember. Maybe because I need to remember that they were human too. Doc looks up from his notebook, catches me staring at nothing. You okay? I nod. He comes over, sits beside me, offers a cigarette. I take it. We smoke in silence. First time's the hardest, he says. The killing, the losing, it gets easier. Not better, but easier. That's what Leo said. Sergeant Kozlowski. He said the fear sharpens you. He's right. Fear keeps you alive. But the rest of it, the guilt, the memories, you learn to carry it. You have to. There's no other way. I look at my hands. They're steady now. That's something. What do you do? Ask. With the memories? He takes a long drag on his cigarette. I write them down. Every name. Every face. Every man I couldn't save. I write them down so they're not forgotten. So I'm not just carrying them around in my head, where they can eat me alive. I think about that, writing them down. Maybe that's why I keep this diary. Not just to remember, but to put the memories somewhere outside myself. Somewhere they can't hurt me. I pull out my notebook and start writing. The names I remember, the faces, the small details, DeMarco's last joke, Watson's scream, the way the German boy's eyes went wide when Talbert's knife went in. I write until my hand cramps, until the names blur together, until I can't see the page for tears. Doc doesn't say anything. He just sits there, smoking, watching the road, keeping me company. Afternoon. We found the rest of the company today. Or they found us. A jeep came down the road, carrying a lieutenant I didn't recognize. He had a map, a clipboard, a list of names. He asked for our unit, our names, our status. He wrote it all down, checked boxes, moved on. You're being reassigned, he said, temporarily, until we can get you back to your original units. Report to the assembly point at St. Mir-Église. Follow the road, you can't miss it. Talbert nodded. Didn't ask questions. Didn't complain. That's not his way. We packed what little we had and started walking. The road was full of traffic. Trucks, jeeps, tanks, walking men. All moving forward. All part of the great machine that was pushing into France. St. Mir-Église was chaos. Tents and vehicles and soldiers everywhere. Prisoners sitting in a field, guarded by MPs, their faces blank. A field hospital with rows of wounded. Some waiting, some screaming, some silent. A makeshift cemetery with fresh graves. Row after row, wooden crosses with helmets hanging on them. I walked past the cemetery, looked at the names. So many names. Some I recognized. Some I didn't. All of them dead. I thought about DeMarco, buried in a shallow grave behind a farmhouse. About Watson, left where he fell. About the others, scattered across Normandy. Their bodies never found. Their names waiting to be written on something permanent. We reported to a sergeant at a folding table. He took our names, our units, our stories, assigned us to a temporary company, billeted in a barn on the edge of town, told us to get some rest, hot food, clean uniforms, told us we'd be moving out in 2 days. 2 days, 48 hours without fighting. Felt like a lifetime. Evening. I found Leo. He was sitting outside a tent, cleaning his rifle just like always. When he saw me, he grinned. That crooked grin. Well, look who made it. Heard you were dead, kid. Heard the same about you. Nah. Too mean to die. He patted the ground beside him. Sit. Tell me what happened. I sat. Told him everything. The drop, the flood, the crossroads, the fight, the survivors. DeMarco, Watson, the others. The photographs in my pocket. The faces I couldn't forget. He listened. Didn't interrupt. Didn't offer advice. Just listened. When I finished, he nodded. You did good. You survived. That's what matters. Is it? He looked at me for a long moment. Look around, kid. Look at all these men. Half of them won't be alive by Christmas. The ones who make it, the ones who really make it, are the ones who learn to carry the weight. The guilt. The memories. The faces. You carry them, but you don't let them stop you. You keep moving. That's the only way. I thought about that. The faces. The photographs. The weight. How do you do it? I asked. How do you carry it? He pulled out a worn leather wallet. Opened it. Showed me a photograph. A woman, dark hair, kind eyes, holding a baby. Anna, he said. My wife. And my son. Never met him. He was born after I shipped out. He looked at the photograph for a long moment. Then he put it away. I carry them, he said. Every day. Every fight. Every time I think about giving up. I carry them with me, and I remember that if I die, they've got nobody. So I don't die. Simple as that. Simple as that. Not simple at all. But I understood. I touched Mary's photograph in my pocket. Felt the worn edges, the familiar shape. I have someone to carry too. Night. Tomorrow we move out. Into the hedgerows. Into the fighting. Into whatever comes next. I've spent the last 2 days resting, eating, trying to become human again. It hasn't worked. I don't think I'll ever be the same person I was before June 6th. That boy, the one who had never killed, never watched friends die, never carried photographs of dead strangers in his pocket. That boy is gone. In his place is someone else. A soldier. A survivor. A man who has seen too much and will see more. I wrote to Mary tonight. Told her I was alive. Told her I loved her. Didn't tell her the rest. Some things you can't put in letters. Some things you have to carry yourself. I also wrote to 3 other women. I found their names on the back of the photographs: Elsa, Gretchen, Marta. I told them that their men died bravely, that they were thinking of them at the end, that someone in France remembers. I don't know if the letters will ever reach them. I don't know if they're even real addresses. But I had to try. Someone should know. Doc saw me writing. He didn't ask what I was doing. He just nodded, that steady, knowing nod of his, and went back to his own notebook. We're all carrying something now. We're all writing it down, trying to put it somewhere safe. Tomorrow we move out. Tomorrow we fight again. But tonight, I'm alive. I'm here. I'm writing. And somewhere in Iowa, Mary is sleeping, not knowing that I'm thinking of her. Not knowing that her photograph is pressed against my heart. Not knowing that she's the reason I keep moving. That's enough. That has to be enough. June 20th, somewhere in the hedgerows. 2 weeks since D-Day. 2 weeks since I jumped into the dark. 2 weeks since I became someone else. We've been moving inland, fighting through the hedgerows, pushing toward Cherbourg. The slow, brutal work. The Germans fight for every field, every farmhouse, every ditch. They're good. They're desperate. They know what's coming if they lose. I've lost count of the firefights. Lost count of the men I've killed. Lost count of the friends who've died. There's a numbness now, a distance between me and what I do. My body fights, my rifle fires, but somewhere inside, a part of me has gone quiet. I don't know if it will ever come back. Leo is still alive. He's like a cat, impossible to kill. He got hit last week. Shrapnel in the shoulder, But he patched himself up and kept going. "Nothing but a scratch," he said. "Now get back to work." Doc is still alive too. He's always where the wounded are, always calm, always steady. He's running out of supplies, running out of bandages, running out of morphine. But he never runs out of hope. I don't know where he finds it. Reeves didn't make it. He caught a bullet 3 days ago, crossing an open field. He was gone before Doc could reach him. We buried him in a temporary grave, marked with his rifle and helmet. Someone will come for him eventually. Someone always does. I have his dog tags now. And his photograph. A girl back home, plain and pretty, with a shy smile. I put it in my pocket next to the others. So many photographs now. So many faces. So many women waiting for news that will never come. We took Cherbourg today. The city fell after hard fighting. The Germans blew up the port before they surrendered. But we have it. We have a foothold. We're here to stay. I walked through the city this evening. Saw the damage, the rubble, the bodies. Saw French civilians, pale and thin, emerging from cellars, crying, cheering, offering us wine and bread they couldn't spare. Saw children, wide-eyed, not understanding what happened, only knowing that the soldiers in gray were gone and the soldiers in green had come. An old woman grabbed my arm. She was crying, speaking French too fast for me to understand. But I understood the word merci, over and over. Merci, merci, merci. I didn't know what to say. I'm not a liberator. I'm just a farm boy from Iowa who got lucky. I killed people. I watched friends die. I carried photographs of strangers in my pocket. I'm not a hero. But she didn't see that. She saw the uniform, the flag on my shoulder, the enemy gone from her streets. I smiled at her, nodded, said, "De Rain. It's nothing, the only French I know." She hugged me, wept into my shoulder. And for a moment, just a moment, I understood why we're here. A letter came today. From Mary. It was waiting at the rear, forwarded through channels weeks old. I opened it with shaking hands, sat down against a wall, and read it in the fading light. "Dearest Jim, I think of you every moment. Every night I pray for your safety. Every morning I look at your photograph and imagine you're just outside, coming up the path, home at last. The corn is high now. Your father says it's the best crop in years. He doesn't say much, but I see him looking toward the road, toward the east, toward you. I'm still saving my dances. The shoes are getting dusty, like I said, but I don't mind. I'd wait forever, Jim Gallagher. Forever and a day. Come home to me. Please come home. All my love. Mary." I read it 3 times. Then I folded it carefully and put it with the photograph, next to my heart. Forever and a day. I'll hold her to that. We're in a field near a village I can't pronounce. Someone found a bottle of wine. Someone else found a radio. We're sitting around a small fire, listening to music, pretending we're not at war. Leo is telling stories about Chicago, about the factories, the bars, the women, about a guy he knew who could drink anyone under the table, about the time he got arrested for fighting and spent the night in a cell with a man who later became his best friend. Doc is quiet as always. He's writing in his notebook, adding names, recording the day. He'll show it to me later if I ask. He always does. I'm thinking about home, about the 4th of July in Iowa. The parades, the picnics, the fireworks. My father grilling in the backyard. My mother's potato salad. Mary in a sundress, laughing at something I said. I wonder if they're celebrating tonight. I wonder if they're thinking of me. I wonder if they know that on the other side of the world. Their son, their friend, their Jim is sitting in a field in France, watching the same stars, wishing he was there. Leo passes me the wine. I take a drink. It's terrible. I take another. "To the 4th, he says. "To the 4th. We drink. The radio plays something slow, something sad. Someone starts singing. Others join in. Soon we're all singing off-key and wrong, but singing anyway. For a few minutes, we're not soldiers. We're just men, homesick and tired, holding onto each other in the dark. I've been thinking about the photographs. I have 11 now. 11 women, waiting. 11 men, dead. I've started writing letters to each one, telling them what I can. telling them their men were brave, telling them they weren't alone at the end, telling them someone remembers. I don't know if I'll ever send them. I don't know if I should. Maybe it's better to let them hope. Maybe it's kinder to let them believe their men are prisoners somewhere, coming home someday. But I keep writing. I keep carrying them. I keep remembering. Doc says it's my way of coping. My way of holding on to humanity. Maybe he's right. Leo says I'm crazy. You can't save them all, kid. You can't carry every dead man's memory. Maybe he's right too. But I keep writing. I keep carrying. I keep remembering. Because someone should. Tonight, I'm writing the last entry in this notebook. Not because the war is over, it's not even close. Not because I'm done fighting. I'm not for a long time. But because this notebook is full, and because I've said what I needed to say. I look back through these pages and I see a different person. The boy who wrote on June 5th, scared and hopeful, wondering what was coming. The man who wrote on June 6th, drowning in a flooded field, finding his way through chaos. The soldier who wrote after the crossroads, counting the dead, carrying their photographs. I don't know who I am now. Somewhere between the boy and the soldier I lost track. But I know this. I'm still alive. I'm still fighting. I'm still carrying. Leo is asleep next to me, his rifle within reach, his face relaxed in a way it never is during the day. Doc is on watch, his steady hands holding a rifle now instead of bandages. The others, the ones who are left, are scattered around the field, sleeping, dreaming, hoping. Tomorrow we move again, deeper into France, closer to Germany, further from home. I don't know if I'll make it. None of us do. But I know this, if I die fighting. I die for Mary, for Iowa, for the old woman who said merci, for the 11 women who will never see their men again. I die for them, and I hope that's enough. I'm gonna send this notebook home, to Mary. She'll keep it safe. She'll read it, maybe, or maybe she'll just keep it in a drawer, unopened, waiting for me to come back and tell her the rest. If you're reading this, Mary, know that I love you. Know that I thought of you every day, every night, every moment. Know that your photograph was always next to my heart, right up until the end. And if I don't come back, if this is all that returns, know that I died doing something worth doing. I died with friends beside me. I died free. But I'm not dead yet. I'm here, writing this, alive for one more night. The guns are quiet. The stars are out. Somewhere, a bird is singing, confused by the dark, thinking it's dawn. It's not dawn. Not yet. But it will be. It always is. And when it comes, I'll be ready. I'll pick up my rifle, follow Leo, do my job. I'll fight through the hedgerows, through the towns, through whatever comes next. I'll carry the photographs, write the letters, remember the names. And I'll keep moving forward. Toward Germany. Toward victory. Toward home. Toward Mary, waiting in Iowa. Her shoes dusty. Her heart full. Forever and a day, she said. Forever and a day. I'm coming, Mary. I don't know when. I don't know how. But I'm coming. Wait for me. P.S. If you're reading this and I'm not there to tell you myself. I loved you. I loved you from the moment I saw you in that blue dress, standing in front of the barn, squinting into the sun. I loved you on every jump, every march, every firefight. I loved you when I was scared, when I was tired, when I was sure I'd never see you again. I loved you. I love you. I will always love you. Dance for me, Mary. Dance for both of us. Until we meet again.